What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash. In today's video we're gonna be talking about a pretty special team. So we're gonna be talking about finally the 8-man rainbow team at its finest. So basically using this brand new PvP limited rare good Soba-Mask that's really good, one of the best units in part of Rumble, apart from obviously PvP Whitebeard. Now one thing that I want to mention is that I don't actually own Kaku. I wasn't lucky enough to pull him in the Soba-Mask banner. So I am using this calgara noland. Now you can use, for example, the Jozo. I like a little bit more the effect that the calgara noland has, but it's definitely much better to use the Kaku. So if you have the Kaku, definitely use him there. So yeah, I'm gonna be actually talking about this team, but also some other, actually a lot of different variations of this team that you can do that work in a similar way, maybe not as well as this team with Kaku, but as I don't have Kaku, this team doesn't work as well as it would. So I have decided to show you other variations that you can do if you're missing some of these units, for example Legend Jack or stuff like that, and you can use different variations with different bench and different main 5 teams, but it's mainly the same idea. So it's basically about tanking the damage of the first round of specials, then some units start to die, and then your bench units come in and basically nuke the slashers when they have no defense though. So that's the theory, but in the actual matches it can work in a very different way. So as you guys probably saw in the thumbnail of the video, I actually put that this team is a counter to the slasher team, but in quote unquote, because I don't really like to use the word counter. Now, for what I have been informed, this team, if you use Kaku instead of Calgara Nolan, wins the slasher team with B3 Law 80% of the times. Now, I haven't been able, obviously, to test that by myself, but the creator of this team actually has informed me that it works this way. So the creator of this team, well, it's I think some people together of a group called Jazz Corps, but the creator in particular of this team, I think it's Deep. So great shout out to that guy, because in theory this team looks pretty amazing. Now you can do a lot of changes there, and I think they all work in a similar way. So for the information that he has given me, this team should be the slasher team with V3 low variation, again about 80% of the time, and that's counting, for example, a PP Whitebeard on the bench and stuff like that. Now against Halloween Law, for what I have seen, this team works better as against Halloween Law in general than against B3 Law, because B3 Law actually gives a lot of problems with the fixed damage, because once you have tanked all the damage, then B3 Law comes in and just kills your tanky or the units that are giving defense to your team, just when they had a lot of defense, but they just had like 2000 HP and stuff like that. And then if you are not lucky with your bench units, and if you don't have Kaku, then you can struggle a lot. So that's a little bit the reason. But yeah, but if without Kaku, I think I have been testing this team a little bit with this Calgara Nolan, and it wins around 60% of the time, 65 maybe. If you are lucky, maybe 70. I mean, it's possible. So it still performs really well, but without the Kaku. So with this Calgara Nolan, the problem is that, for example, it feels kind of wasted, because for example, sometimes the Rayleigh dies and then just Calgara Nolan come in max, which is just like, okay, Calgara Nolan especially just 15 seconds charge, and Rayleigh is just 45, you know, so there's a huge loss in seconds there. And at least with the Kaku, you're targeting more than one unit, and that's really good against the slashers. So when other PvP units come out that are also nukes, Kaku is not really gonna be the important unit here. So it's just about having three nukes in the bench, and the main two ones are PvP Whitebeard and PvP Soba-Mask. But the third one, it's also nice if it can be a large range or stuff like that. So more than one unit damage multiplier. So yeah, all the variations that I'm gonna be showing you, I think I would say are around the 60 to 70% win rate, which is not bad. It's more close to a defense team, but the problem with these rainbow teams is that a lot of them are 8-man teams and 7-man teams. So if they look kind of scary, probably people are not really gonna be attacking them. But yeah, so they work really really well, and you can, if you don't have the slashers, you can definitely go up against them with teams like that, because that's the thing, these teams are actually non-slasher teams. So you can find a lot of good teams that can beat some variations of the slashers, but they are probably also slashers. So this team is a really good team that is not a slasher and that can beat the slasher. So that's a really valuable thing. And just look at that. I mean, yeah, there's Shanks crew, but your only unit in general that is used in a slasher team, it's Roger. So if you have Roger, you can build all those teams. There's some variations that I'm gonna be showing you with the Odin, but in general you should be okay with just the Roger. So even if you don't have Odin, then you're completely fine with these teams. So that's why I think it's really interesting to show this team. Now, before I talk about some different variations, I want to say that I'm gonna be showcasing 3 matches with this team, and then I'm gonna be doing 3 matches with a different variation that I have done myself. It works more around the same level as this team, but without Kaku, so around 60-70%. So it's not as good as with Kaku, but if you don't have Kaku, that's an option that you can do. I wanted to tell you that I want to talk about this team because this team is actually a really good team, and I will be doing a tier list video in my next video actually. So during the championship, you're gonna be able to see my tier list video of best teams, and I have actually reworked all the way of thinking in which I do this tier list. So because I thought it was very subjective, the tier list, so I have actually put more analysis into it. So there's quite some surprises there. So stay tuned for that. And also this team is, well, the 8-man rainbow team in general, it's part of that tier list. So the different variations that you could do here, for example, there is one, but I don't really, this one doesn't really work that well, but it can work. Now the main thing probably is just about putting here, well, now if I want to change things, it's about putting here the Roger, well, in the main team, but now I'm gonna have here. So basically, if you use Roger here and then use PvP Whitebeard here, the trick basically here is, instead of Kaku, you can use legend, sorry, not a legend, rare recruit Enel in the 7th spot. So because if he's in the 7th spot, when he comes in, the passive is gonna be active. So basically here it's the same thing, but we are just replacing the Jack for the Bayol and Rebecca. That way we can have a little bit additional cost available to replace the Kaku for legend, this rare recruit Enel, which is really good. And also the rare recruit Enel will give rainbow defense up level 5 at the end of the match, so that's gonna be really good. So yeah, we're losing on a little bit of defense with the Jack, but we are getting some heal that can be really useful against B3 loss fixed damage, and also some special city apps. So we're gonna probably make the Changshrew activate faster, so that's gonna be additional defense earlier, so that's gonna be probably really nice. Also, you could try to, for example, replace the Bayol and Rebecca for the rare Kritino Arashi. That should be, I think, working too. But yeah, so you can try a lot of different stuff with that. I'm not gonna be doing videos about these particular compositions, but yeah, so let's actually go with the matches. And we are also gonna be doing matches with this team, but I'm gonna be talking about this team when we come to the matches. So let's start to do some matches. We're gonna start with this 8-man rainbow team that has Jack in it. So we're gonna be going up against the 6-man team with a variation of B3 Law. But I also wanna go up against some Halloween Law and stuff like that. So we're gonna be seeing if I can find something like that. And well, I'm saying that let's start with this, but as I'm recording all of these clips before the maintenance start, because I will not be able to do some matches for 2 days, and I want to upload the video. I wanted to upload the video. I have to do these matches earlier, so I don't know the order in which I'm gonna be showing you these matches, but I want to showcase at least something like 3 matches with this team, and then maybe some more matches with some other variation of some other 8-man rainbow team that I have thought about. But as I explained, there's a lot of variation that you can test. Also, if you actually do not have Kaku like me, it's actually a really good idea to use that rare recruit NL. The only thing is that then, if you want to use that rare recruit NL, then you have to use some kind of rare recruit or unit that is not a legend extra in the main team. That way you can have a unit that costs 30 instead of a unit that costs 20 in the bench. So yeah, let's see how we are doing. So we're actually quite tanking a lot the damage. We're gonna get the special of PP Whitebeard. It's not that big of a deal if the Roger doesn't get to activate, to be honest, because well, we just want him to give some damage, and here we're gonna get the special fully max of calgara noland. As you see, it would be much better if that special that was fully max was the special of Kaku, which was dealing like a really big range of damage instead of just this. So for example, here the special of Kaku would have probably killed all the units, but we only kill one. Because we have Calgara and Nolan. So yeah, the Odin dies. We are still. It's like we still have 3 units to kill, and I have seen some matches in which you get some insane RNG, bad RNG, and you still lose a situation like that. But well, we're gonna be seeing. Yeah, as you can see here, we have a Roger. Well, they have a Roger, and they activate. We hopefully we are gonna be able to kill like either the Calgara Nolan or the Law. Yeah, we are able to kill the Calgara Nolan, so that's really good. Here, let's see if the Calgara Nolan deals some damage. Yeah, he does. Um, Unfortunately, we do not kill that cost 1 unit, which is really annoying. But well, we'll see if we get the special. Actually, yeah, we do, but we actually completely miss. So you see what I was saying when I have seen some matches with insane bad RNG in which you lose a situation like that. So as you can see, probably, yeah, I'm gonna lose. No, okay, I actually win, but you guys just saw that if I had a Kaku there, that first special of Calgara Nolan would have killed the Roger and stuff like that because they had defense on level 5 and they were actually positioned in a way that the Kaku would have dealt damage. Yeah, this one was a very close one. Yeah, so yeah, you can see that this team is at its full and it's at its best when you have those 3 units in the bench. So PvP Whitebeard, Kaku, and the Soba-Mask. But you see that it can still do some pretty cool stuff. A composition like that. With Calgar Nolan and stuff like that. You could also try to use, for example, a Jozu instead of the Calgar Nolan. The only thing is that a lot of the times against the slashers, you want like more than just 2000 damage because they have defense down. So if you apply a multiplier damage, you're probably gonna be dealing a lot of damage to them. But just fixed damage with Jozu, probably the 2000 damage will not be killing the unit, and yeah, you're gonna be left with all the units still alive in general. But yeah, so let's go for the second match. We're gonna go up against another variation of Bithrilo. This one has a PvP Whitebeard on it. I have seen against PvP Whitebeard it's the hardest if you do not have the Kaku. Because for example the previous match we would probably have lost if the enemy team had a PvP Whitebeard instead of a Kaku. I mean, it's true that I had a lot of bad RNG in that match also, but I think I would have lost. Here, as they have a PvP Whitebeard, I think it's gonna be a little bit harder. The main thing about this team is just getting the Rayleigh as fast as possible under the 60%. A lot of the times the fixed damage of Roger is actually doing that. But here we actually have to tank the special of Dofi, which is quite unfortunate because we do not have the defense of Rayleigh. But here, this is normally what's happening in every match. Rayleigh gets under 60%, but Roger debuffs. and here we will actually be able to tank the special of Odin quite good. We will actually get our special of the Roger, so that's really nice in terms of because we are debuffing the enemy units. But as you can see here in the main 5 team, we don't have the damage, so we are just stalling and tanking some specials, and here until we get a special fully charged, for example of PP Whitebeard, and we only have to tank the special of Kizaru. Probably Kizaru will be killing the Rayleigh. I don't think the Roger. Yeah, okay, he won't, but a normal attack does, which is actually not bad because we actually get a fully max special of calgara noland, but normally it would be Kaku. So here again you would see that if it were a Kaku, that Odin would still have died, and if a unit had been alive after the special of the first PvP Whitebeard, then you would still be okay with you would still be okay because you would have really range damage, not only just to the only unit that was alive, but here this one, as you guys saw, this one is what you're looking for when you're using this team. So even though there's a PvP Whitebeard, you kill the units at the same time, so it's just like not even close, because now here look at, like, if they had survived that, there was another 2 times attack from Soba-Mask because we were under the 40 seconds. So as you can see here, it's really strong. This is the ideal match that you want to be seeing, but we'll see what we can find in the third match. As you guys see, I try to not cut the video or anything, so I'm hoping that I can find either a Halloween Law version or a B3 Law here, but well, we're gonna have to see what I can find. So I will refresh a couple of times. If I'm not lucky, probably I will have to be right back with the team that I find. So yeah, here we don't have one. Okay, here I think the units are not gonna be max. I mean, you don't all, you don't have to. Yeah, the stat is really low, so yeah, it wouldn't really be a good showcase. Here the same. I mean, for example, I will go up against this one because you don't really have to go up against like the PvP Whitebeard teams. There's a lot of people using the slashers without PvP Whitebeard, so against 5-man teams it's not even that close, I would say. So normally you get the win unless you have some pretty huge bad RNG, because they don't even have the cost 1 units. So that first match actually was kind of bad RNG because of those cost 1 units, because my PP Whitebeard actually missed their special and just targeted one of those units. But yeah, here it's just 5 against 8. So I just wanted to show you guys this team, for example, against a 5-man team, just so that you can see that if you find, and you will find a 5-man team in championship or stuff like that, that's normally quite common. You can use this team and be pretty safe. Like you could still lose, obviously, because it's RNG, but I think this rainbow team performs really well. I will also now, after this match, show you how some other rainbow team that I have thought about performs against also the slasher teams. But here we get just straight up the 3 units from the bench. So I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not that bad. So here we will get some damage here. Unfortunately, we miss and we only target the Dofi. So it's actually looking like a quite bad RNG match. So maybe we are still even going to lose. So which is kind of funny because there's no unit in the bench, but it's RNG. Like I would say against 5-man teams, normally this shouldn't be happening. So you should be getting the win most of the times. And here we even have bad RNG and we don't kill the law, but here he goes down anyway. We will have to receive the specials here of Dofi and Roger. So probably if he gets delayed, he won. So probably here I will lose. Okay, I will actually win this match because here he gets the massive damage. As you guys saw here, he actually needed to activate twice because Dofi has a lot of defense. it was a really really bad RNG match. I still got the win, but it was really close. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean in general, this is like not really that common against five-man teams. Against five-man teams, you are, and also if they don't have cost one units and stuff like that, I would say you're pretty safe with this kind of rainbow teams in general. But as you guys saw, you can always have really, really bad RNG, and you cannot do anything about that. You could even lose, I guess. But yeah, this particular team against the B3 low variation, if you don't have the Kaku, has around maybe a 60% win rate, so it's not that great. If you have the Kaku, I think it's more close to 80%. So I think it's more, it's a kind of closer to a counter to the slasher team with V3 low. But now I will actually show you another version of the 8-man rainbow team, and it's actually gonna be, let's see if I can find it, um, something like that. So basically, this particular variation has that Stampede Usopp that, as you guys know, I really really like that unit. It works really well, and if you know how to use it, it does wonders. So basically, you just have it there to die to make the units charge the special faster, and then when he dies, you have an Odin almost fully max coming in, and then you can deal a lot of damage, and your Odin hasn't received a lot of damage, and so it's more safe. And then you have the two stock standard bench units in PvP, Whitebeard and Soba-Mask. So we're gonna be seeing how we do. So let's start with the first one. Here we're gonna go up against an Otama in the bench. So yeah, it's not a PvP Whitebeard, but I mean in general, yeah, the unit in the bench can be really effective if you get to that late game. But a lot of the times, if at least with this team, with the previous one it's different, but at least with this team, if everything works correctly, you kill the units at the same time, so it doesn't matter what unit is on the bench. With the previous one, it was kind of different because you didn't have a lot of damage in this at the start, but here with the Usopp you have actually the damage from the Odin, and normally for what I have seen, some other of the units dies, and then PP Whitebeard is really really close also together with the Odin, so you can actually do a one shot of all the units at the same time. So here it's kind of annoying. Well, yeah, the Dofi activates, so we will have to deal with that defense up. But the if we actually get to activate our Roger, which is looking like it's going to happen, we're gonna give them defense down, and if we target some of I mean a lot of their units, and it's the case, then we are getting rid of that defense up from Dofi, which is actually really really annoying. So a lot of units actually die here. Actually, that was quite amazing but RNG here, because our Odin was about to activate, and just a normal attack was enough to do to deal all the damage. But here, let's see if we actually get to activate our PvP Whitebeard if they let him. Yes, it looks like they are gonna let him, and here the Otama will actually heal, which is actually kind of good because it will mean that the PP Whitebeard will get to attack. But here probably I will actually lose because of these cost 1 units, because I'm gonna get delayed because I'm being hit. But I mean it could I could win because the Otama is just healing herself, so it's giving PP Whitebeard the time to just charge the special. But no, yeah, as you guys saw, really really close match. But I mean nothing I could do with that bad RNG of just the Neko, the Rayleigh, the Shanks dying at the same time, and then when Odin was about to activate, because he was at the top, just a normal attack also kills him, so 4 units dying at the same time, and you get an end game like that, so it's not bad at all. I would say the previous 8-man rainbow team that I showed works a little bit better if you have that Kaku. If you have Calgara and Nolan, it works in a similar way. We're gonna go up against another Otama. Let's see how we go. As you guys saw, these cost 1 units can actually be more annoying than one would initially think, because here it's what actually gave gave me the loss. Those cost 1 units because my PP Whitebeard was targeting them instead of the Otama and delaying the Otama and stuff. So yeah, here we're gonna go up against the Otama, but as I was saying, if you have the Kaku, the previous team, I would say works better. But if you don't, I think this one is also quite good. I would say it's also around 60-70%, I would say. I have done a lot of matches, and I mean, in general it gets the win, but it can still lose like it happened in the previous one. As you guys saw, what I was mentioning, PP Whitebeard and Odin normally can come in really close to each other, and here the Odin will not activate, but the PP Whitebeard will probably. So that will mean that when our Odin activates, ideally we're gonna be having the defense down from the PP Whitebeard, and that's gonna be really nice. So here we're not gonna be killing the enemy Odin, unfortunately, because he had the defense up from Dofi. So we're gonna have to tank the special of Odin here. Now let's see, none of our units actually died, and they have no special ready. So here we will see the special of our Odin, and it's gonna be looking quite good because we are also getting the special of Soba-Mask fully max coming in from the bench, and yeah, it's just GG now because it's just Roger and an Otama, and it wouldn't really have mattered if that had been a PP Whitebeard because he wouldn't have been max, and we now have still the special of the Soba-Mask and stuff. It can look quite scary here, but it actually isn't that scary. I mean, if your specials miss because of the uh, because of the cost 1 units, it actually can look quite scary. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I will lose again probably. Okay, no, I will get the special. Those last seconds were actually really bad RNG because the Soul actually just targeted the cost 1 units. But well, I mean, I still got the win. So you guys see what I'm going like. You normally get the win, but a lot of the times it's really close. So even though when it gets close, in general you win still, but it's kind of scary to be using this team because I have been testing it a lot, and yeah, in general it gets the win around 60% of the times, but a lot of the times it gets really scary. So look here, there's a Soul-Mask in the bench, so we're gonna be seeing how it goes. It will do a similar effect actually than a PP Whitebeard because it's a 2 times multiplier damage, and well, and if he actually goes to a late game, he can actually be dealing a lot of damage. So let's see how we actually do in the third match. So with the first team we got 3 wins, and with this team, I actually got 1 loss and 1 win. And let's see what we can get. It would be nice if we could get the win, but well, it's RNG. You guys saw the idea behind these teams. You can try a lot of different variations with the Rainbow team, like the ones that I mentioned at the beginning of the video are just some options, but you have a lot of options actually. So the Usopp actually dies, and we get an almost fully max Odin, and he will actually activate the first attack that he deals. We have here some enough defense to tank the special of the Odin. Maybe the Roger dies. No, okay, he doesn't. So he will actually activate, and it's really annoying because the enemy units are gonna be countering that defense down from Roger with the special of Dofi. So here my Odin is not gonna be dealing as much damage as it would, but we get a fully max, well, both PP Whitebeard and Soba-Mask from the bench. So I mean, if we don't have again some crazy bad RNG, and of course we miss, okay, I don't know what to say. Like these last 3 matches were just like bad RNG after bad RNG, but well, I mean, I think we are still okay because we get the special of PP Whitebeard, but yeah, you see what I mean, right? When I'm saying these last 3 matches have been kind of insane in terms of RNG, but yeah, here it's just done. We cannot actually special bind the Soba-Mask, so that kind of sucks because he resists special bind. But yeah, it just 4 versus 1, so this one wasn't even that close. But it's really annoying when you see that your Odin is gonna activate, and then an enemy unit does a normal attack and just stays in front of all the enemy team, and then your Odin only targets that unit. So it's really really annoying. And it's even more annoying if right before that unit did the normal attack, all the units were perfectly placed for your Odin to get all of them. But yeah, it happens quite a lot. That's why I like a lot units that are guaranteed to deal the damage to a certain number of units or stuff like that, because there's not that RNG factor, which can be really really annoying. But yeah, so here's gonna be it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think with this showcase of rainbow teams, and also when I explain some other variations that you could do if you don't have, for example, the Kaku, I have been trying like to use rare recruit NL in the bench, using rare recruits in also in the main team, like for example in Warashi or Rebecca and Bayola treasure map units. So a lot of them work actually in a very similar way than the teams that I actually showcased. So in general, I would say that these kind of rainbow teams are quote unquote a counter to the slasher team, at least with B3 Law, and some of them actually we also against Halloween Law. But yeah, I mean, they are not the perfect counter. It's just a team that works well against the slashers. And well, as the slashers are the most common team that people are using, it's actually really, really nice to get that. And all those teams were actually just unlocked by that Soba-Mask. Because if you can have, like, for example, in this one, 3 massive bench nukes, in this one, well, 2, but ideally you would have 3 with Kaku. So you see what I mean by that. Like all those teams wouldn't perform as they do now if the PvP Soba-Mask wasn't there. Now, in the future, when we get, for example, the PvP Law, yeah, you instead of Kaku, for example, you could use the PvP Law, and probably you could replace the Soba-Mask by PvP Law. But just Soba-Mask is so good. Like if you get to that late game, 4 times attack, it just kills everything. So as you guys saw in all these matches, we didn't even need to see the Soba-Mask under 40 seconds with the second activation. It only happened once, and it actually was the deciding factor between a win or a loss, because it was just a Soba-Mask versus a Dofi, and it was just like, okay, he activated, and the first round of attack of the 2 times that multiplier didn't kill the Dofi, but the second one did. So 4 times attack, it's a lot of damage and can kill a lot of stuff, mostly in the late game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So let me know in the comment section down below if you have some other ideas of some other rainbow team that could kind of counter the slashers. So I mean, I don't really want to call it a counter. So it's just like teams that you can use to beat the slashers without the slashers, and I think that's the most important part, like beating the slashers without the slashers. So this last team that I showcased had Odin, but all the other ones didn't. So that's the main thing. Yeah, in a lot of them you need Roger, in some of them you don't. But that's the main thing, because yeah, you can beat the slashers using some other variations of slashers, but beating the slashers without the slashers, it's kind of difficult. So that's really really cool that we can do that here in this video. So as I said, let me know in the comment section down below if you have thought about some team that you could do like that, or similar like that, or some team that can beat the slashers. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.